Hello, everybody. This is Trey Parker, and this is not a walkthrough. I'm just going to talk to you guys about something. I sat here and I thought for a minute, for at least a day. Ever since I did the live stream where we beat, on my channel, we beat Red. Well, we didn't exactly beat Red Dead Redemption because we still had to play as John, but we played as Arthur. We beat his part of the story, and honestly, I got the good Arthur ending. But to tell you the truth, even though the developers made the game to make the ending based upon our decisions, but I can easily tell what the true ending is. Okay, because it's real. It makes sense because you got to think about it. In the game, it mentioned that Dutch, how they said he changed from where he was, and Arthur said, well, maybe this is exactly who he always been, but you know what I'm saying? It's like Dutch was like actually putting up a front, a bold faced lie about who he actually was, who he actually is, his fabric being. You know what I'm saying? You know, the whole thing with Dutch leaving people behind and everything else, that's exactly who he is. He didn't change. He's always been like that. He just never showed it. Basically, he started to reveal who he was, really was. Okay, guys? It's plain and simple. And on top of that, the bad ending, the bad ending and the good ending, that song that plays. If you got the good ending, the high honor level, you get this good song. That's the way it is, the good version of it. But the bad version is the same thing. It's the same thing. It's like a darker version of the song, right? But I honestly think that, and bear with me, it makes sense. It really does make sense. These are outlaws, right? These guys are robbing people, killing people. You know what I'm saying? For example, like the military, like these guys. Not all those guys are bad. You got guys that got families that are waiting for them to come back home and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are dead. There's a lot of people that died. You got to think about it. This is bad things. That like when Dutch says we are not criminals, we're outlaws. Even though that sounds badass, but in actuality, it's bad. It's really bad. It's a bulk faced lie. It's a lie. You know what I'm saying? I think actuality, Alter, the bad ending song with the low honorable ending song, I think that has more of a strong reflection on Arthur himself. You know what I'm saying? And truth be told, I think the way everything was going around, how it was transpiring towards the end, it was like almost as if Arthur was like having a change of heart, like a change of mindset that this is all wrong. You know what I'm saying? This is not right. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can easily tell that he went from one person to another to something else. Like he's trying to change. And I really think the ending I got, even though it was I don't think that was the actual ending. I really don't think it was, to be honest. Um, who knows? Maybe the developers of the game know how Arthur really was before the ending transpired. I wanted to talk about it because I sat here and I'm watching YouTube. I see people got the good ending and I see some people got the bad ending, but there's multiple endings though. There's a whole bunch of them. You make the endings based upon your decisions, but there's only one true ending, and people think it's the honorable one. We don't know, but like it's both face obvious what it might be though. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to look at the whole context of everything. Like you can easily tell how everything was transpired, that people were changing a tad bit more than usual. You know what I'm saying? And I think the whole entire time, the whole Dutch gang, they were corrupted. You know what I'm saying? Even though they may not seem like it, but they were. They were robbing people. You know what I'm saying? He was basically lying to the whole gang. He didn't have a plan. He talked about Tahiti, so all this other stuff. He didn't really. Once he got the money, what were they doing? No, he stashed it inside of a chest for himself. And if Arthur tries to go back for it, you know what I'm saying? It's even though it's for a good cause for everybody, but it's also bad. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the actual what happened because John's wife gave him the key. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, I think Arthur must have been not a bad guy, but he was like, he had a low honor level. I think he had a low honor level and he tried to help people survive because he knew that he was going to die alone. That's for one, because his so-called girl is, you know, she wrote him a letter and whatever, telling him that, you know, the world he lives in is not something that a person can easily escape from. And this is not going to be a long live stream. I'm making a live stream to explain it because I don't have time to edit video to explain everything that's going on. But another thing too is like the endings. I looked at every single one of them. There's still endings that has not been discovered yet. There's a whole bunch of them. I lost count after 6. There's a 7th ending. Can you believe that? There's more endings. This game better win Game of the Year awards. It better win. I'm telling you, it better freaking win. If it doesn't, I'm going to put my foot on whoever's ass that did not pick this game for the Game of the Year award. I'm being honest. It better. You know what I'm saying? No, forget the Game of the Year award. Game of the Century. Put it that way. Game of the Century award. Or the decade. You know what I'm saying? Of the decade. Take all the games from the decade, put them together and see which one wins the Game of the Year. You know what I'm saying? It's just... I'm getting a little sidetracked, guys. Sorry. He had the key. Dutch was lying the whole entire time about who he really was and how he really was, even though he was putting up this front. That's why they said, there's a lot of people saying that when they help John escape the camp, escape so he can get to his family, everybody's honor level skyrocket high. Just a tad bit from the complete full bar of the high honor level. And they got the good ending. You know what I'm saying? And truth be told, I think it makes more sense in that aspect because you got to think about it. Why would Rockstar put it like that? For you to have high honor level for just one good decision making and it just skyrockets from bad honor level to high honor level. Like, you got to think about that. It's not just because of chance. Not just because they want you to have every ending. No, it makes sense. I think Arthur Morgan must have been a bad cowboy. He must have been a bad man, but had a good heart to a certain extent. I think that the bad cowboy song with the low honor level was actually, it's way better than the good honor level song because it reflects more about what's going on. It really reflects more about everything that was transpiring throughout the whole game. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff that they were doing. You know, and I'm not trying to spoil anything. Everybody knows the ending. You got people watching the freaking videos and everything. There's multiple endings, and there's still more endings being discovered, which is crazy. It's real crazy, guys. You know, it's still more being discovered. You know, and honestly, I wouldn't put it past it if Arthur, you know, if they had an ending where Arthur just, you know what, just screw this, I'm just out of here. Just take off somewhere. Leave. Go off somewhere on his own. You know, it's ridiculous. But I just know for a fact that the ending I got, even though it was a good ending and it was satisfying, it was had me a little like feel like I was gonna cry. I think the other ending would have had me cry even more, to be honest. Because there was, spoiler alert, right? If you don't want to see this, if you don't want to hear this, just go ahead and just leave. I know there's not people right now inside the live stream right now because people are going to come in here and watch it later on, whatever. But there was a scene, if you have the bad honor level, there was a scene where, just the same as mine, but after Dutch left, Micah came towards Arthur with his gun, telling Arthur, "You're no better than me." And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is crazy because this fits more into what's going on. You're no better than me. And then Arthur said what he said, and then he said, "Damn us both." Damn us both. So, okay, so you got to think about it. Arthur realizes the truth about what's really going on. Every cowboy that was like, outlaws and everything else, they didn't really realize what was actually transpiring, what was actually going on. They were the bad people. They were the ones that were doing wrong. Arthur Morgan realizes that. A man of sin. And I already said that earlier, but the thing is, that's why he said, "Damn us both," because Micah, even though Arthur is trying to do the right thing before he goes out, he was going to die anyway from tuberculosis. But Micah, because of the rage, the anger, the hatred between Micah and Arthur, that's why Arthur Morgan said, "Damn us both," and then Micah shot him. You know what I'm saying? And was laughing. Because the big picture is their souls are damned. You know what I'm saying? What if, and this is going to make everybody even cry even more, what if something like that happened where, you know what I'm saying, Arthur did a lot of dirt, a lot of wrong, a lot of killing and all that other stuff, and then he had I wouldn't say it's a good ending or whatever, but what if it's like he got the ending where he saved everybody, which is he did. He saved everybody. It's only if he didn't go back for the money. He saved everybody. Micah did that. And then there was like a little cut scene where, with the wolf or whatever, or the other animal is. And it's a cut scene where you see Arthur in heaven. And what if Arthur comes before, right in front of God, and God said, "Well, you did a lot of things that were against my, my teachings, against everything else." And then, saying, what if God told Arthur, "You don't get it well done, but you barely made it." And because of the one good thing he done before he went out, outweighed the bad. That would have been more. I'm not trying to change this. I'm not trying to change the story of how Rockstar done it, but that would have made a lot more people cry, because there's a lot of people crying over this whole case that Arthur, the endings that Arthur has. It's a lot of people crying over it, and I mean a lot. I mean, there's like literally. One of my friends took his baseball bat and smacked the TV because he got pissed off that Micah shot him. Shot Morgan. Shot Morgan. He got the bad ending, but he tried to go out good. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a game, but this game better wins the Game of the Year awards because, honestly, it earns that right. It really does earn that right. With the story, it's a masterpiece. And, what I'm saying, the only game I know for a fact that you can go to the store and pick up and, put down on the table and said that this game will win every single Game of the Year award was The Last of Us. The Last of Us was that type of game where you can actually say, hey, see if it put that up there with the rest of those games that just came out this year. Oh, this is an old game. Well, I don't care. Just put it up there. Oh, well, Last of Us won the Game of the Year award again. Again, this game is one of those type of games that will win every freaking year. This game here, it will win every single year. Unless they come out with Red Dead Redemption 3 or something. Then that might be even better. But I just have to talk about that. I suck at explaining things, but honestly, I think we were more of a bad person in the beginning of the game. And then towards the end of the game, we were more of a good person. We were trying to do things good. We had to change the heart of everything. Arthur realized the real truth of what was really going on. So, like I said, once they got the money, the whole plan of Tahiti, everything, it was almost as if he didn't know what the heck to do after he got the money. He just took the money and put it in the chest and hid it somewhere inside the cave. So that's all I have to say, guys. I mean, sorry for making this video long. Like I said, I don't want to take a time to actually edit the video because it's going to take me a long time to edit. So I just have to make a live stream and try to explain it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a good ending. That's good for you. That's good. That's good. But at the same time, I think if you go back and try to play the game right, as if it's a movie, because I'm gonna be honest with you, if they made a movie, it'd be smart to make two versions of the movie. To think about it, just two versions, both with completely different endings, different outcomes in each movie. So that's all I have to say, and that's it.